So here I am in the car coming to you live for our morning sip with Rev Melissa. So we have been talking about cause, the law of cause and effect. All right, so we've been talking about the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, right? And just to recap a little bit, remember our subconscious mind is intelligent, creative. It is the seat of habit. If you don't remember anything else about the subconscious mind, remember that it is the seat of habit, and it is impressionable. It is impressionable, and it is responsive to the will of the conscious mind. And I just realized I had the radio on, so let me lower that. So lower the radio. I'm like, what is that noise? It's the radio. Okay, so we know that our subconscious mind is responsive to the will of the conscious mind. And what is the conscious mind? The conscious mind is the seat of will. Subconscious mind, habit, conscious will, the seat of will, right? Our conscious mind is that objective mind, that thinking mind, that reasoning mind, that analytical mind. It is the watchman at the gate. The watchman at the gate. And what is it protecting? The subconscious mind. What is it watching? The subconscious mind. And it can impress upon the subconscious mind. And so that's what we need to remember. I want y'all to sip on that. Sip on that. Practice that. Spirit and practice. That's what this is all about. Practicing that which is bringing us into the alignment with the flow of life so that it could flow through and as us uninterrupted, undisturbed. Yes, that's what we're going for. That is what we're going for. And so this physical body that we have is important, right? It's part of the whole dynamic of creation, right? Because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so our subconscious mind and our conscious mind also has a connection within this body. So the conscious mind is connected with the cerebral spinal system, right? And that's the nerves that is centered in the brain, right? It's a system of nerves that is centered in the brain. So it's our physical senses, it's the movement of our body, right? So our conscious mind is connected with that. And then our subconscious mind is connected with our solar plexus. So we know this, right? Because I got a gut feeling, our intuition, right? We feel those things, many of us, in our solar plexus, right? You get a sinking feeling, right? That's information. That's your subconscious mind feeding you and communicating with you to be aware, to be alert, to be open, to take action, to stop, to go, right? So we connect to that through our sympathetic system, okay? So those things are connected. Those things are linked. The systems are connected. Our conscious mind, subconscious mind, the nerve centers in our brain, our solar plexus, all of this is energy. All of this is energy that is flowing and that has dynamic information for us to use so that we can create the life that we want, so that we are at cause. We are at cause and not at the level of effect. Not at the level of effect. So I want to read to you something from the Master Key System, the book that I've been reading from this week by Charles Hanel. And he says this, the solar plexus, so you can substitute the solar plexus for the subconscious mind. The solar plexus is the point at which the parts meet with the whole, where the finite becomes infinite, where the uncreated becomes create. The universal becomes individualized. The invisible becomes visible. It is the point at which life appears, and there is no limit to the amount of life an individual may generate from this solar center. So everything that is in the invisible becomes visible. Everything that is uncreated becomes created. Everything that is universal becomes individualized. And we use this to create. Yes, we use this to create. Our subconscious and conscious mind are one. Our subconscious mind is the individualized universal mind that we get to use to create. And so it is important, it is vital that we are vigilant about our patterns of thinking, about what it is that we're giving the watchman at the gate, our conscious mind, what it is that we're giving it to impress upon our subconscious mind. Yes? Because the part meets the whole. The individualized meets the universal, which is our subconscious mind, which is the universal mind. The individualized universal mind is our subconscious mind. And there are no limits. The only limits we have are the limits that we put on it. So let's not put any limits on it. Let's not put any limits on that which is infinite, that which is expansive, that which we are expressing. Yes? Okay, y'all. So what happens? Sometimes that connection gets interrupted. There is an interruption, right? There is a disturbance in the force. Yes? And a lot of times that disturbance is caused by fear, especially fear, resistance, just critical negative thinking, right? That interruption happens when we are sitting in the position of the how. Now, what do I mean by that? Know what you want. Do what is yours to do, right? Ernest Holmes says, treat and move your feet. So you pray and you're in action, because faith without works is dead, right? So there is enough for us to do, right? We are impressing upon our subconscious mind, but we have no business in the how. The how is the universal's mind's work. It's the universal's mind's domain. So let's stay in our domain and be clear about what it is that we want, and focus our thinking vigilantly on that. And that is not something that we do for 5 minutes a day, right? This is something that we do constantly, consistently, deliberately, like the law. Act like the law, right? So that we won't have interruptions in the connection, in the creation of that which we want. So that it's not so slow, right? That it's not so slow. So everything is within the realm of what is possible, right? Because we're doing our work and we're doing our part, and we're leaving the how up to the divine, up to the intelligent mind, the universal mind. We got enough to do, don't we? So let's let God do the how, but let's give God something to work with by being clear about what it is that we want. Being clear about what it is that we want to be made visible. Because it's all in the invisible. It's all done. It is done. And what we need to do is connect with the doneness, and it will come through us into the visible. Into the visible. Yes, yes it will. So what is it that you're expecting? That interrupts things too. When we're expecting that which we don't want. Let's stop that. We're leaving that in July. We're leaving that in July. Yes? We are relaxing and we are letting go. We're letting go of fear. We're letting go of resistance. We're letting go of critical thinking, cynical thinking. We'll stop beating ourselves up about stuff. We're going to be gentle with ourselves and kind with ourselves and loving with ourselves. And we're going to think loving thoughts about ourselves, because that connection is powerful and we want to use it constructively. And when we bash on ourselves or talk negatively about ourselves, that connection gets clunky. It gets clunky. So we have everything that we need to be creative beings in the world, because we don't have to create it. It's already done. We're just using it. We're just using it. All right. So relax and let go. And I just want to close with this about physical relaxation, right? It's a voluntary exercise of the will. And I love what Charles Honnell says in the Master Key System about physical relaxation. Physical relaxation is a voluntary exercise of the will, and the exercise will be found to have great value, as it enables the blood to circulate freely to and from the brain and body. Tension leads to mental unrest and abnormal mental activity of the mind. It produces worry, fear, anxiety. Relaxation is therefore an absolute necessity in order to allow the mental facilities to exercise the greatest freedom. And that's what we want. We want to be able to exercise the greatest freedom. The greatest freedom, right? So relax and let go. Get rest. Rest so that all systems are a go. All systems are a go. And we are impressing that upon our subconscious mind, that all systems are a go. And we can't do that when systems are like, no go, no go. All right. So let's be at cause. Within. Within is where the treasure is. Within our own universe, expressing the universal mind through and as us. Through and as us. All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and justice. And enjoy.